All right, there's a lot to discuss between now and Monday, so let's just go in order and we'll tackle each risk as it comes. All right, the wind chill, frostbite concern. That does still exist overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. The good news is, though, not that you'll be able to actually feel the difference. We're not really looking at wind chills perhaps to be quite as bad as expected. In fact, some forecast models just a couple days ago were kind of toying with the idea of maybe 30 below wind chills close by. Now it looks like, I think we're going to stay mostly in the 10 to 20 below range, maybe get up to 25 below Friday morning. Here we are at 7 a.m., 12 below zero. But remember, this takes into account wind, and the temperature itself is going to be clinging to the single digits. So all it's going to take is a light breeze to get us to this point. So a moderate breeze would then get us down to that 25 below range or so. That's why we're being extra cautious with these wind chills, because even if at the timestamp it doesn't look too bad, this can change minute to minute, and it kind of ends up being tricky in that regard. So just treat the entire day as the uncomfortable day it's going to be. There will be no warm point throughout the day, not that you could probably perceive. By the time you get to Friday night, Saturday morning, again, it just doesn't get better. We're going to stay in the deep freeze, single digits throughout the day Saturday, with occasional wind chills down to 10 below or lower. And then, of course, there is the winter storm. Winter weather advisor, or winter storm watch rather, is in effect for pretty much most of northeast Indiana and northwest Ohio, except for Whitley, Kosciuszko, Noble, DeKalb, Steuben, and LaGrange counties. The reason why is mainly because the precipitation shield, the kind of northern extent of that system, looks to just scrape by some of these counties, bringing lighter amounts, still impactful snow, but maybe not quite as impactful as the areas in the winter storm watch. Now, that could change as this storm kind of wobbles a little bit north and south on its way here. A winter storm warning is in effect for much of the southern plains and eventually into the mid-Atlantic due to some ice and snow concerns. 1 to 3 inches of snow expected for Dallas, by the way. Future temperatures show that, again, we'll be in the single digits tonight into tomorrow, at times dipping below zero, and we'll stay in the single digits to right around zero into Saturday morning and afternoon. Now, we will warm up somewhat Sunday into the low to mid-teens, but that's only because of this storm system moving through. Now, Saturday morning, looking dry, mostly cloudy, cold, but we missed that first round of snow. That was to be expected. That doesn't surprise us to see it. What we've been more interested in is that second surge of energy that moves out of North Texas and then moves north and east from there. And it's being kind of propped up by an area of low pressure to the south, allowing the storm system to make it as far north as southern Michigan. So as the system moves in, it's going to bring periods of light to moderate snow, heaviest from about Fort Wayne southward, a little light to the north. But either way, everybody is seeing some snow throughout the day on Sunday. We'll zoom in a little more so you can see it. Generally dry, cloudy, but no impact Saturday. Sunday morning, overnight Saturday into Sunday morning, that's when the light snow starts. This could be off by maybe a few hours, which is why we are making the late Saturday time period kind of the beginning of this, just in case it does start a little earlier. But really, it's Sunday morning that it starts to kind of pick up. Could see a bit of a lull in the activity north of Fort Wayne at around 7 or 8 a.m. But again, everyone just sees this moisture as the afternoon progresses on Sunday throughout the day, not exiting until maybe about 8 p.m. or so Sunday. Overall, 5 to 8 inches of snow is expected. These are preliminary amounts. They could still fluctuate or change, so be patient with us as we continue to monitor some of these latest, more subtle changes. That dividing line does extend into Whitley, Wabash County and points north and west, where a lesser 3 to 5 inches is possible. We put the plus there, though, because of that shift north or south that could still occur with this system. So stay tuned. Here we are into Monday. I expect that it's not really going to be much better, probably even on the roads too, as these cold temperatures definitely tend to fight against that pre-treatment that's going to be on the roads. 17, mostly cloudy, cold on Tuesday, and look at that, through the end of next week, highs don't even reach 20, and it could actually stay more or less that way through the end of the month. We are in this for the long haul.